So, for this birthday stream today, there's a couple things I wanted to do. First and foremost, I wanted to do a reaction. I wanted to actually react to something today. They just came out with a death battle for Metal Sonic versus Cell. And, oops, sorry about that. I don't even know if that sound went through. And I wanted to watch it with you guys. It's the first time I'm ever doing like a death battle reaction live like this. I thought it would be really cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to see this. I've been wanting to see this since they announced it probably like 2 weeks ago. So I'm hyped. I'm ready. I don't know who else is ready. Before we even start this video, guys, who do you got? Who does thou have? Is Cell going to win? Or is Metal Sonic going to win? What do you guys think? Now, I'm playing it from the very beginning of the video. I'm playing from the very beginning. So we're going to see basically the statistics of each character. So this is going to include what their histories are, what their powers are, their durability levels, as far as also what their ultimate weaknesses might be as to how to defeat them. So I don't know Metal Sonic very well, other than the fact that he was created by Dr. Robotnik and he's a metal version of Sonic. That's all I know. Right? I know he has the power to use the Chaos Emeralds just like Sonic does. I know that he has an empowered version of himself called Neo Metal Sonic, where he can actually talk when he absorbs something. I'm not sure what it is entirely, but I know a lot more about Cell. Cell is on Dragon Ball levels. I guess they're both on Dragon Ball levels, but ultimately for me, it's going to come down to who can put down who permanently, right? Cell's regeneration is kind of ridiculous, but it's not unbeatable. That's why I might have to give it to Metal Sonic. I think if Metal Sonic has like the infinite power, or however much power those Master Emeralds give him, if he has enough energy output to permanently put down Cell, I think he could do it. Right? And I was also thinking, oh, but what if Cell tries to absorb him? I don't think Cell can absorb purely metal beings, because he tried to do that with Android 16 and he couldn't. Right? Because Android 16 is mainly mechanical, whereas 17 and 18 are they're more like cyborgs than androids, because they're only part robots. The other part is still some human aspect to them. So I don't know. I don't know everything. So I could be wrong. Like if Cell can actually absorb Metal Sonic, I'll be surprised. I'll say that. What's this here? So let's see. All my savings on Cell. Damn, okay, I'm on Cell side for sure. Damn, okay, no love for Metal Sonic in here. That's crazy. Whoever's powers or uses their strongest move first is going to lose. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Like, that's usually how these battles go, right? But I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So we'll have to find out, because sometimes if somebody uses their strongest move and then the other guy busts out their strongest move, sometimes the first strongest move can win. Like, it's definitely possible. But I'm going to stop talking now, and let's get to this reaction. I may pause a couple of times to throw in my 2 cents, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, here we go, guys. Cell versus Metal Sonic, Dragon Ball versus Sonic the Hedgehog, Death Battle reaction. Here we go. Okay, the animation already looks peak.
Versus Metal Sonic.
Which copycat android is truly the superior model?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. There's a monster stalking Gingertown. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale. All it left behind was their clothes. Something ate these people's insides, leaving only a shadow behind.
Some kind of
Sorry, I'm pausing already. I gotta say that one scene where he's like drinking the dude in the middle of the in the middle of the city. That's like the second worst thing I've ever seen in Dragon Ball, next to Majin Buu literally turning into goop and going inside this other dude and exploding him from the inside. That takes the cake, but this is pretty disgusting too.
creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new apex predator, the ultimate life form.
The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this.
Also, pausing again, sorry. Last time I paused for a little bit. I'm surprised they didn't do Cell versus Shadow, because both of them are considered the ultimate life form in their own respective universes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought Shadow would have been a much better matchup, but considering these are both technically robots, I guess that's the next best thing. So,
Manslayer and discovered that it was intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims and
There it is.
add their
There it
energy
is.
to its wretched gestalt.
But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature knew the Kamehameha.
The mystery of this creature's origin was decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced paramilitary organization in history, the Red Ribbon Army.
Until they got rocked by this little kung fu gremlin, Son Goku.
But Red Ribbon's dream of revenge lived on within their head scientist, Dr. Giro.
Hiding away in his spooky cave laboratory, Giro would go to work studying the Z fighters from afar, learning everything there was to know about them.
And building a series of androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once and for all.
He made a ton of them. Infinite energy androids, key-absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even... ginger androids.
However, none of
I'm
Giro's
Android
creations were
13.
capable of
Look
matching
at my
that
trucker
drive to
head.
improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Giro's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell, get it? This android possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and, when fully evolved, would become
Wow, that's cool.
unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them is the power to
Extremely
manipulate
annoying
heat,
to
or
draw.
the energy that exists in all living things.
Okay.
And weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite. Oh, weird, I'm not seeing Chaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Chaozu human?
Oh.
Okay. Cell can fire the Death Beam, as well as breathe in and
a
travel through the
Pokemon.
vacuum of space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
And because he's got Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body
That's
at
a
the
big
cost
one.
of some keys.
Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return, even stronger than before because of the Saiyan DNA.
Oh.
Goku and Vegeta, definitely the
oh, that could be a problem. What? Okay. What if Metal kills Cell a couple of times to the point where he just becomes too powerful to kill? Ooh. This is going to be an interesting matchup. What's up, Mouse? Welcome to the stream. You doing reactions? I am doing a reaction today, yes. I am reacting to the Metal Sonic versus Cell death battle. This just dropped, I think, 2 days ago. Or, no, it dropped today, I think. Did it? I don't remember. I'll have to check that out. What's up, dude?
cream of the genetic crop.
Sure, he can perfectly replicate attacks like the Gallic Gun, Spirit Bomb, and of course Kamehameha, as well as teleport by locking onto a living being's key signature.
But the best part of being a
I've only
Saiyan is
seen
how
him
much
use
crazy strong
Spirit
they
Bomb in the
get every
games. I've
time
never
they
seen him use it in the show.
almost die.
They can even evolve to become orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he is effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological
Love that move.
imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Giro's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very
Right, not
complicated.
future
There's like
Trunks.
5 timelines.
As Cell defeated and absorbed the androids, he evolved. Not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less
Comparable
freaky,
to Super
serial
Saiyan
killer
2.
and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a
This
full
was such a
power
good
Kamehameha,
saga.
He was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar system's mass is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's key wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks and even
Oh, God.
right in the video games.
Cell's even
Oh,
stronger
no.
in the anime adaptation.
That's a lot of
Similar
power.
to the time Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion was literally hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy.
Uh-oh.
And thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly fast, capable of blitzing even the
Didn't
strongest
Broly
fighters
destroy an
of
entire
Broly
galaxy?
flew from Grand Kai's planet of heaven all the way to hell.
Like,
hundreds
in the
of
first
billions
Broly
of
movie?
light years in half a minute. And that was in his base form.
Yeah, that's cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini Cell Juniors out of your butt?
Briefly
What?
contended
Never
with the
that
almighty
easy.
Hercule
Call it
Satan?
The Kegel.
Can destroy the
Cell
solar
was
system. Oh
entirely
my
without
god.
peer and no longer wedded to Jiro's petty growth.
Broly did destroy a galaxy though.
Prove it
Broly's
with
stronger.
the tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was Goku.
I know, but that's
son,
Vegeta.
Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him. Wow, Cell, you really are related to Vegeta, aren't you?
In truth, Cell
Wow.
was a victim of his own
Careful,
success.
Cell.
The
Your
same
Vegeta's
same
showing.
genes that made him all-powerful also sowed the seeds of his defeat.
He got so mad he even blew himself up. Maybe he does have some Chaozu in him after all.
Even that wasn't enough to totally put him down, and he came back with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super perfect Cell. Now with more lightning in a battle for
The
ages,
little Zappy
Cell
Pops,
put
yep.
the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan.
Oh my
and it
God.
went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes.
Oh my god. Are they going to include Cell Max in this? Are they going to have Cell transform into Cell Max? I don't think they can, right? Oh god. I didn't think about that. Okay, so I don't know. I guess ultimately it's going to come back. It's going to come down to, again, who can permanently put down the other. It's very obvious Cell has incredibly insane powers enough to destroy like the entire solar system. What kind of power does the Chaos Emeralds give the characters in Sonic? Like, how much power realistically do they get from it? Does it match that power? Because if not, the only way Dragon Ball characters can really be defeated is if they're overwhelmed. Meaning, the other person has to be more powerful than the person they're fighting. Cell Max is someone else entirely? Yes, you're absolutely right about that. But I don't know if they'll include that in this or not. I don't. Can Cell? I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Oh shit! What'd I do? Oops. My bad.
To recreate the most fearsome warrior in the universe is one single Cell.
All right. Now the part I gotta listen up
Hey,
for.
real quick, did you know Death Metal launched our own tabletop gaming channel? It's called The Nightly
tabletop?
Brew. We're doing Dungeons and Dragons,
Hey!
Tower, and a bunch of other stuff. I'd love if you could check it
Wow,
out.
that's
We just
kinda
finished
out
our
of
campaign
left
for
field.
The old school Tomb of Horrors, the most infamous dungeon in D&D history. Here's a clip. You quadruple in size and bump into multiple of the columns. There's no way you can fit in this room without touching columns. So you begin floating.
This is Baldur's Gate 3 for me if Baldur's Gate 3 was just circles. And to me, Baldur's Gate 3 is just circles. I can't get into D&D. I've tried. I've thought about it, but like the graphics are terrible. No, I'm just fucking with you. I think it's just the turn-based aspect of it. I think it just takes too long. I do. I think there's like a time aspect to it. I just don't enjoy it that much.
This is my last character.
As giant balloon soot drifts closer to the demon face. God. When he gets just a couple feet away from
I'm
the
offended?
mouth,
Good.
disappears.
Oh shit!
Excellent.
You were like, "Oh, this dungeon's terrible."
Oh,
it's
and he popped.
the most like everybody.
And he's
the
gone.
Hardest thing, and I was like, "We've got this." These other sessions, and then we hit this fucking room, and I am at my limit. I hate this.
You're literally at your limit. You popped. Well, they're having a good time, so that's good. All right.
Time and again, the world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
Eggman.
Time and again, that same world and those same critters were saved by Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh my God.
No matter how many robotic badniks the good doctor
Original
threw at his blue
cartoon.
spiky nemesis, his schemes were always 6 spin jumps to the glowing weak
Yep.
spot away from getting cracked and scrambled.
But it wouldn't be over easy for Eggman. If he couldn't defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own. Metal.
There it is. I have only played 2 Sonic games in my entire life. I have played the original Sonic game for Sega Genesis, and I've played Sonic Adventure 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. Other than that, I have never touched a Sonic game. Those are the only 2 I've played. That's why I have no idea who Metal Sonic is. I've seen him in a previous death battle, the one against Bowser, and he pretty much like carried. So that's why I'm rooting for him right now. I'd like to see how this goes. So, sorry for pausing again. I'm doing that quite a bit.
Sonic.
Well, 0 points on creativity for that name, but goddamn, he does look metal as hell.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use all of Sonic's power-ups, and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with energy blasts, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V Maximum Overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path.
Oh, God.
At the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to
Oh.
turn the rodent
So maybe
into
don't do that.
roadkill. But it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized
Oh,
red ass
damn.
handed to you by Charmy B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Oh my
Never
God.
one to admit
The robot became self-aware. Oh no. He became self-aware and he wanted to become better. Oh my God. Oh my God. I actually love that. He was created to be Sonic's better and he wasn't. And he got mad. I like that.
defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew. you.
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire.
Oh,
And we mean
shit.
literally copied. If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with scanners in his optic receptors that can copy a person's biodata, giving him the ability to recreate all of their abilities in seconds.
Like the
Oh, shit. Are we about to see Metal Sonic do a Kamehameha? Oh, wait, this guy might actually be too powerful. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Time out. Oh, this battle's gonna get crazy.
Sonic Boom, Knuckles' Hammer Punch, Tails' Magical Swiveling Asshole, and Big's ability to suck at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning their moves, he can replicate more esoteric powers like Silver Psychokinesis, manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
Oh.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes.
So the
emeralds
only
contain
reason he
an
can do
infinite
that is
offering of
because he
mystical power
copied
and life
Shadow?
energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp, and distort space, boost his speed, and stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald, he can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden, Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds.
Invulnerable.
And has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic,
Universes.
and human
Oh.
beings like the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
What in the Final
Super Neo
Fantasy?
Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any of them, though he's got to be quick because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet and became Metal Overlord.
Complete with
Oh,
missiles, giant
my
crystal
God.
projectiles, and the strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself, Overlord is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His ego might as well have had its own health bar. Metal's drive to surpass his rival had morphed into the
Oh my
delusional
god. Are we
belief
gonna
that
see
he
a
was
cybernetic
the
over dragon
Sonic
Metal
Boom
Sonic?
Wilson copy.
A copy that Metal had finally outclassed. All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team up to take him down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but Metal never possessed the thing that made the Sonic heroes successful: their friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. Ahem. After getting trashed again, Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge any bits of rebelliousness from his code.
Metal returned to being the Eggman Army's chief enforcer, always proving invaluable as the Bad Doctor's greatest creation, now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going on behind those glowing red eyes? Maybe Metal is more cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
I'm hype. I'm hype.
Hey, I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick. And if you don't believe me,
But what about now? That's what I thought.
look, the matchup is about to begin and we can't wait for you to see it. But first I want to
This-
tell you about a brand new thing coming to the Death Battle store, and it's something you guys have been asking for.
Okay.
Matchup pitches. It's a way to meet with me and Ben, the creators of Death Battle, and pitch
The
us
Clyde
a
versus
matchup that
Dante
you've been
one was
wanting to
goated
see.
too.
Any matchup, any way you like. We'd love to hear from you. This was originally a Kickstarter reward, but due to popular demand, we wanted to keep it going. A lot of episodes of Death Battle that are currently being worked on are because of a pitch. So we want to give each pitch the time it needs, so quantity is limited, so you
Nice.
better act quick. Death Battle pitches are available right now on deathbattle.gg. That's our website that's like a Patreon mixed with some other stuff. And if you're a website member, you get discounts on all of our merch, including the pitch calls. While you're there, make sure you check out the Death Battle Retro Tee. It's a shirt we made like over a decade ago. The first Death Battle shirt. I found the file and recreated it, only on a much nicer shirt. So check that out while you're there. Anyway, let's get to the fight. I know you want to see it, and Boomstick wants to see one of these copycats get copy-capped. So here we go. And remember, deathbattle.gg. We want to hear your pitches. Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, my favorite death battle was Omni-Man versus Homelander. Yeah, that was a good one. That one was so one-sided, though. It really was, because it's like they mentioned. It's like they mentioned in the after talk. Homelander is the biggest fish in a little pond, whereas Omni-Man has been basically bred for combat his entire life. The only reason he's alive is because he's fought tooth and nail on his home planet. Like any weak Viltrumites were weeded out at the start. And the only ones that were left were the strongest of the strongest. There was no contest there, because Homelander has never ever had to contend with somebody even remotely close to his level. And also we haven't even seen like Homelander's full like strength either, you know, like, because he's always has to hold back, you know, like what's that Superman the Superman saying, world made of cardboard. That's right. Smooth Rivers is in the stream. Happy birthday. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm old today, so I appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you. Okay, so based on everything I've heard, I am still gonna give it to Metal Sonic. We've heard Cell has enough power to destroy a solar system, but according to what they're saying here, Metal Sonic may have the potential to destroy the universe. Which, if you ask me, is a lot bigger than the solar system. I'm just saying. That's my logic there. Also, Metal Sonic can also regenerate from being turned into a puddle. So their regeneration skills seem almost damn near equal. So I think this is literally going to be a battle of who can put out the most power to overpower the other one. And if Metal Sonic gets the Chaos Emeralds, he's basically invulnerable to all damage. I don't know how this is gonna go. What's this? How do you say your name? I like Ketchup Gaming. That is an incredible name. Welcome to the stream, dude. We're about to watch this death battle. So, I'm gonna put 50 gold pieces on Metal Sonic mopping the floor with Cell. That's what's going to happen here. I think that's what's going to happen, okay? 50 gold pieces. Samurai, right now, if I lose this death battle, you're going to be 50 gold richer in game. I'm just letting you know right now. Okay? I know 50 gold's not a lot. You know, you could buy yourself like a nice chair or something with it. I don't know how much furniture goes for these days. So, without further ado, let's get into this.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
All right, here we go.
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter, or face... Then prepare to kneel before your master.
Oh, we're just starting with Neo. Okay.
Perfect.
Hey. Multiform. Okay. can bust through his shield. Okay.
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear? Not anymore!
Oh, we're just going right into the... He just teleported the death egg. Okay, Metal Sonic's kind of getting folded.
You're dealing with the ultimate life form. I already possess his data. Observe. Chaos. Control. Life form data successfully copied. Scum.
Oh shit.
It'll take more than that to kill me, puppet! I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
He just went Super Saiyan without the emeralds.
Now I know
Cell Juniors? Tri-beam!
Don't you dare.
Hikoho. Doesn't that drain his energy though? Oh, he died. He's come back stronger. What did I say?
I am not just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them. If you are all of them, then so am I. I'll never lose to a machine like...
Was it enough though? No.
I'll crush you.
KO! So now
What did I say?
Powers of the Chaos Emeralds and
What did I say?
Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Cell may have been one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, but Eggman's
We just saw Metal Sonic do a Kamehameha, dude. That time-stopping shit is so broken, too. The Chaos Control, oh my god. He's too powerful. That's actually so stupid, though. It is, and that's the crazy part. Cell got all of his abilities through all of the fighters that Dr. Gero cataloged, and Metal Sonic just said, yoink. I can now go Super Saiyan. I can now copy all of the abilities that you know. That's crazy. That's insane, dude. Oh my god.
greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories.
Yes,
Strength,
please.
Speed, abilities, and adaptation.
We already know who took adaptation. We already know who has adaptation.
First up, who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or
Yes.
Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he can destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Yes, a threat to the universe and destroying the universe are two separate things. Okay? If you destroy the universe in one go, that's in one go. If you're a threat to the universe, that means you could potentially planet hop. Right? Doesn't necessarily mean you could blow up the universe. Cell didn't even do all of his abilities, so how's that even fair? He didn't do anything like Kamehameha, but like a Kamehameha on his stupid like minions. That's actually not fair. That's true. I didn't, as far as I saw, we didn't see any Destructo discs. We did see him use a special beam cannon, the Kamehameha, multiform, the little cells. We didn't really see, what else didn't we see? He did copy Frieza, but I guess like the only thing he would really learn from Frieza was like the finger death beam and that big like the big purple ball thing that he does. Otherwise, I mean, I thought it was pretty fair. Like I said, whoever has more power is going to overwhelm the other. That's the only way they're going to put him down for good. Because you have to destroy the other one completely. That was BS. Starting off as Neo Metal, it was supposed to be Metal Sonic. I mean, Neo Metal is technically... The thing is with the death battles is that they want these characters... I mean... if you want to use that argument, Samurai, then why didn't Cell start in his first form? Right? I mean, it is called Cell versus Metal Sonic, not Perfect Cell versus Metal Sonic. So they both started in their more powerful forms. So that makes sense. That makes sense. As far as... I think Metal Sonic's time-stopping ability is just so unbelievably broken that he can literally stop mid-Kamehameha and just get behind them and just do whatever the hell he wants. Like, damn.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater and Solaris can destroy the wider multiverse, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
Damn.
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he...
Now, if this was a battle against, say, one of the more recent characters like Beerus, I think Beerus would take it. I do, because Beerus's Hakai has been proven to even defeat, like, I believe, immortality, which can bypass the emeralds. He's invulnerable when he has the Chaos Emeralds. Once he has the Chaos Emeralds, there is nothing Cell can do. Once he becomes like Super Metal Sonic, he literally cannot take damage. You know, unless he was, like, overwhelmed himself, which Cell just did not have the power output to contend with a universe-destroying blast. The time stop ability isn't fair either. If I remember correctly, that was supposed to be a cooldown of sorts. You're right about that. I do remember, I actually remember fondly back to Sonic Adventure 2, going up against Shadow, and whenever Shadow used that on me, I was always so frustrated because I would literally be frozen in the middle of a track for 15 seconds. It is busted. It is an absolutely busted ability. I totally agree. Don't blame me. Don't blame Death Battle. Blame the people that wrote it. Because it's broken.
should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the...
Can this guy beat Goku? He might be able to copy Goku's Ultra Instinct. Oh my god.
Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect
That is a good point too. Gohan in Super Saiyan 2 was much faster than Cell. That's a good point. There are speeds in which Cell cannot keep up. Oh my god. How long was the cooldown? I have no idea. Salty reacted to Jeffy's 18th birthday. I will not react to anything Jeffy-wise. Jeffy can go straight to hell. We don't like Jeffy on this channel. We are forced to bear through Jeffy's universe simply because the Shucks mod is goated. I refuse to react to Jeffy. I'm sorry. It's not that simple. If you don't perfect Ultra Instinct, you just die. And if you don't perfect Ultra Instinct, you just die? What? I wouldn't say that. Goku just got his back blown out. What? Yeah, he didn't die. Yeah.
Cell can move upwards of 100 times faster than that, and so 100 times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge
Really?
in speed.
Okay.
You know, the thing Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their
Okay.
abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like
I mean, you can't even do this abilities thing because Metal Sonic is literally what's yours is mine. You can't even compare them because it's like, here's Metal Sonic's abilities, here's Cell's abilities. I'm just going to take Cell's abilities and just put it right on top of Metal Sonic's abilities because that's Metal Sonic's abilities.
telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
Yes.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver Psychokinesis, or the Emerald Spatial Distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could
Really?
fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing
And there's also, keep in mind, it doesn't matter how good you are at martial arts. It doesn't matter how bad you are at fighting. If you stop time, you can do whatever you want. Right? If you stop time and you get punched in the face, there's nothing you can do about it.
they're both known for, their capability to evolve and become more powerful.
Like, the Hacks
in
is just too
response to
powerful.
their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Right.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent is primarily
There
viable
it is.
against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took Metal by surprise, he can't absorb fully inorganic robots like Android 16.
Cell was only able to absorb androids 17 and 18 because they were primarily organic.
They're actually more like cyborgs and are only called androids in the English translation.
Metal, on the other hand,
Ah.
can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z Warriors
Yes.
too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically encoded in the first place, quite literally biodata.
Cell's Saiyan power-up.
So his
Copied.
greatest strength was
Cell's
his greatest
regeneration.
weakness.
Copied. Cell's key techniques. Believe it or
Wait. What did he just say? What did he just say?
copied. Cell's regeneration. Copied.
He copied Cell's regeneration. He had no chance. He had no shot. All he had to do was scan Cell, and he became a perfect Cell. Metal Sonic became perfecter Cell. Just like that. All he had to do was scan him. That's so broken, bro. That's like DC's what's the name of that robot? Oh my god. Amazo. Yes, Amazo. Amazo in the DC universe. Basically, Metal Sonic is like Amazo in DC. All he has to do is look at you and he can be the best version of you. Except Sonic. Sonic's the only one he can't seem to beat.
Cell's key techniques. Believe it or not. Copied.
Chaos Emeralds are described as being able to produce life energy, similar to Ki. So there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level. Just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z Fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, cause Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate
No.
that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability.
Yeah, the fact that Cell has speed over Metal Sonic, but that just gets completely canceled out because Metal Sonic can stop time. He just basically takes this whole board. He takes the whole board. What's this here? So this is like a DL versus Shadow. Gets absolutely slammed. Dio can only stop time for like 15 seconds, while Shadow can for like 15, like you said. The other thing is, too, I don't actually think... First of all, I don't know how long the invulnerability for the Master Crystals last, the Master Emeralds. I don't know how long they last as far as invulnerability goes. Is it indefinite? Is there a timer on that? I don't know. But if there's no timer on that, then all of these little hedgehogs just automatically win because there's just no way to beat them. They have invulnerability. Right? I think the only reason there was a Bowser versus Eggman death battle, and the only reason Bowser was able to overpower the Chaos Emeralds is because Bowser too had the power of invincibility through the universally strong Master Stars. I think, are they called Master Stars? They're called something. They're like Super Sun Sprites or something. Super Master Stars, I think. And they're literally, their power was even, but I guess one of them was just too overtaxing. The timer is by how many rings they have, and it drains like every 10 seconds. Oh, so it's ring dependent. Well, I don't know how you calculate that for a death battle, you know? I'm not sure how you would calculate that, especially since you can't really play as Metal Sonic. Very interesting. Very, very interesting stuff. I knew Metal Sonic was going to take this. I just didn't know how. I didn't know he could adapt. I did not know he can adapt to whoever he's fighting. It's kind of crazy.
Is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
Why's that?
Cell died. Where's he? You get it? CD.
Oh my god. Thank you.
Where's,
Yep.
Where you go? Come on back.
Let's go.
Next time on Death Battle.
All right, who is it next time? Is that what's his name from One Punch Man? No.
Subscribe and join as a member to
Okay.
see more Death Battle.
I don't know any of those characters. I don't know them, so I guess I'll be skipping the next one.